Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at 3 new Amiibo from the Super Smash Bros. Line from Nintendo. We have Banjo Kazooie, Byleth, and Terry. So I'll be 100% honest with you, the only one I'm super familiar with is Banjo Kazooie, and because of that, definitely the one I'm most excited for. Byleth is apparently another Fire Emblem character, because honestly, I think we need a few more Fire Emblem characters in Smash. Just a few more. We're not quite at capacity yet. And then Terry is from Fatal Fury, which is a game that I'm familiar with, but I have not really played. So I don't really know too much about the character, but he looks awesome, and I love the Amiibo. So I just, to be a completionist, I bought so many Amiibo at this point. I just keep getting them, especially for the Smash Brothers line. I have everything so far, so I'm in. They got me on the line. I'm a sucker. I'm just going to keep going. But I mean, honestly, the nice thing about Amiibo is even if you don't really know the characters, they're beautiful. I mean, they do a great job with the detailing and the sculpts, and it's fun to collect them even if you're not 100% familiar with the characters. They're still a good time. They still look great, and they still look awesome on my shelf. So very excited to pick these up. So taking a look at Banjo Kazooie, nice artwork. Obviously, nice big bubble here with the Amiibo inside. And then if we take a look on the back, Switch, and they're still touting the 3DS. I mean, that thing's been dead in the water for some time, but still making it to the back of the packaging, I guess. So, very excited for Banjo Kazooie. Byleth, now I know in the game when they introduced Byleth, there was a female version as well. So I would assume an Amiibo of the female version of Byleth is probably in the cards for a later date. I would imagine that they won't miss an opportunity to release another Amiibo. But for now, we have the male version of Byleth. And then we have Terry. And Terry's very cool. Like I said, even though I'm not super familiar with this game, it's a great design. The Amiibo looks fantastic. And definitely a very iconic video game character. Like I said, I'm familiar with him even though I don't really know. I should say I've never played the game. It's a very iconic game. So very, very cool there. Very excited for these. Let's go ahead and let's start opening them up. So I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to start in the middle with Byleth here. Go ahead, and I like to try to save the cards, so I'm going to try to cut the bubble away from the card in a manner that will not rip the card itself. I know some people like to just tear into it, and I get that. I will say on the few figures where I don't care about the cards, there is something about just ripping into a toy and freeing it. It's very fun. It's very satisfying to just rip the packaging open and get to the toy inside. I guess it reminds me of being a kid back before I became a collector and cared about packaging. But anyway, let's go ahead. Let's get Byleth out of here. Put this off to the side. So here is Byleth. Very cool. And I mean, like I said, if you take a look, the head sculpt, the painting of the eyes, very, very nice. The blade, very cool. It's even got the flame effect on it, which is very nice. All of the molding and detail on the cloak and Byleth's clothes. Very cool. And of course the traditional Smash base, as you can see. Next up, let's do Terry. I'm going to save Banjo Kazooie for last, because it's definitely going to be my favorite. So let's go ahead, open this up. Put this off to the side. I think it's funny that they put these little, I guess they're some kind of, metal discs inside there. They're not like hardcore metal, but they're like metal plated. So you can't read them through the packaging. Because I know a lot of people would like to keep them in the packaging and still use them, but they prevent you from doing that. Now you can see the stance is so wide that he doesn't even really fit on the base, so they had to put in these plastic connectors. But definitely looks cool. It has Fatal Fury written on the cap there. He's got his crazy ponytail. And even just looking at the texture of the jeans, I mean, that's crazy how good that sculpt is. That they can actually sculpt in the texture of the denim. I mean, that's why the Amiibo always really impress me. They do a really nice job with them. And last but certainly not least, let's get to Banjo Kazooie. Honestly, one of my most anticipated amiibo in some time. I was a huge fan of the Banjo Kazooie games back for the N64. Well, I will say I didn't play the second one all that much. I feel like I probably did, I just don't remember it as much because the first one is the one I kind of played over and over and over again as a kid. I really liked that first game quite a bit. I really wish they would release them in a collection for Switch. But I know Microsoft owns Rare now or something like that, so there's some weird rights issues. But I would love to get Banjo Kazooie and DK64 for the Switch Virtual Console, or whether they want to put them on the Virtual Console or whatever they call that now, online service, or just put them on a game so I can just buy it on the eShop. Either one would be fine with me. I just don't want to. I want to play the game again without having to dig out my N64. But anyway, here is Banjo Kazooie. I love it. The detail is fantastic. Very colorful too. The paint on Kazooie looks amazing. You can see he's popping. Oh, they even have the little rare symbol. That's cool. That's a nice little Easter egg there. You got the rare symbol on the backpack. That's really cool. But yeah, Kazooie looks great. Banjo looks good. You got the jigsaw puzzle piece right there. It does look a little weird how that's kind of like on the base with the Smash base, but I understand that they had to do the Smash base because all the Smash characters have that, but they also wanted to include the Jiggy. Otherwise, you would have had to have him like hold it or something, which probably would have looked weird, so they didn't have a lot of options. And I'm glad it was represented in some way. I feel like it definitely needed to be part of the amiibo. But yeah, honestly, all three of these are fantastic. I definitely recommend them. But like I said, for me, it's definitely... Banjo Kazooie is definitely the number one out of these three. Definitely my favorite. So I 100% recommend picking them up if you're an amiibo collector like me. The habit is dying hard. I will say it gets to the point where like I enjoy collecting them. I buy them and I open them and I'm excited. And then they go on the shelf and I like don't really look at them all that much anymore. So, you know, I don't really know why I'm buying them still. It's just like kind of out of habit now. But I look at it this way. The releases are so few and far between that, okay, I pick up a couple amiibo every 6 months or something like that. You know, it's not an expensive habit like it used to be where every time there was a release, you were buying 10 of these things. So it's fun, just kind of keeping that Toys to Life moment in time alive, barely, because all the other ones have dried up. They always tease Nintendo. They said, oh, you know, without a dedicated game, the Toys to Life amiibo, they're not going to last. And then they're the only ones that have. I always think about that because it's very funny. In any case, these are great. Let me know which one's your favorite in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.